Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 29. Today is the 20th of July, 2021, and you know what? We're finally going to talk about Black Widow, whether it was a success or a failure, if Disney screwed the pooch, or if it's actually doing better than you think. And we're going to be talking about Army of the Dead hitting spectacular, sexy-ass numbers all on Netflix, and a bunch more tonight here on Hollywood After Dark, so let's go right now. Howdy, everyone. Hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday. I am doing okay, actually. I'm doing all right. Today, I actually got to go and talk to the doctor, and she confirmed hernia. And then now is the whole process of going and getting an ultrasound, and then determining how crazy it is, and then determining the surgery. So that I'll keep you guys informed of that, because when the surgery happens, it's a pretty light surgery. It's like an outpatient surgery, but I might be down for a couple days. So I just want to keep you guys in the loop on that one. And then also, what I keep forgetting about doing, and I keep meaning to do this in the beginning, but I always kind of screw up. I do want to give a shout out to the channel members. We've got a few new ones here. We got William Powell, Mr. Nobot, Command Unit. New people have joined up recently. And we've lost a couple, and that's okay. This is always kind of an ebb and flow sort of thing. But as always, I appreciate everybody who does become a channel member. And remember, this month I am going to be giving away the Life magazine. This is a physical copy magazine, 40 years, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a really cool magazine, and I'll have it mailed to your house. Sadly, it's got to be US only, just because of international shipping is insane. But still, this is a cool little keepsake to have, and something you can get by just sending a super chat or a super sticker or becoming a channel member, or patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. And there's my shilling. That's my shilling out of the way. That's great. Okay, so tonight, again, Black Widow is a really good thing to talk about. Let me take a quick look here at the chat to see what you guys are up to. Ryan Hopt says, what up, dude? How you doing? Lord Slug here says, Disney Plus did mess up its box office. Doesn't Premier Access last a long time? Premier Access actually lasts forever as long as you pay for the service. But in 45 days, it's going to be on the service. So there's that. It's a weird thing. And, but yeah, it's, you know, people, it's kind of a FOMO situation. What we got here. Hey, what's going on, Adam? How you doing, buddy? Thank you very much. Yvonne asking if it's an appendix surgery. No, it's a hernia surgery. It's not as crazy as an appendix surgery. Basically, my intestines are kind of hanging out of my stomach, or hanging out of where they should be. That's kind of what a hernia is. Anyway, thank you for that. Jacob asking, do you like my new profile pic? Well, I can't fully see it. Like, I see that it's me. Can you send me that? Can you tweet me that and I can put it up? It's pretty funny. That's the Grant Gustin Flash meme, with me apparently presiding over Lightcast's corpse. And my God, there has been, I'll just kind of quickly address that. I got sent more things today about the situation, and, man, like I didn't want to bring it up. I don't want to like dive into it. I got sent a recording of Lightcast doing a Twitter Spaces, and this guy was asking him questions, and for the most part, Matt tried shifting blame, and he tried, saying like, take it up with the artist Mariano. Not at all, and then they said that they were going to fire Mariano, but they never said that publicly. It's like all of this stuff, even further showcasing how crazy it is. And at one point he even says that he was brought into the project in the post-production phase, which is generally not how a director enters into a project. So I don't know who wrote the script. I don't know who did any of that work. I would love it if Nicotina, or Dawson or Ryan, or any of the people who were involved in the project would actually be willing to speak with me about this, because I have questions. Now, I mean, today they were doing another live stream and they were talking about it, and apparently they were once again passing the buck and attacking the fans, as I heard. And I'm not a big fan of that. And it's like, come on, guys, there was mistakes that were made here. People want some clarifying answers. There's a lot of misinformation according to you. So why not clarify it for the people who want to know more without Matt's influence, because Matt is clearly out for himself at this point, and even his own team is started to step away from him and to move on from him, given that Lightcast is shut down. And I will say this, though, very interesting little side note. Taylor Murphy is also somehow MIA over there at the Cultured Nerd at this point. Apparently he has a new baby, so congratulations to him, but it's a little suspicious that Matt goes away, Taylor goes away, but I still think Taylor is running the Cultured Nerd Twitter account, if I'm being honest with you guys. So there's definitely that whole situation. Maury Jameson here says, happy hernia, welcome to the club, good luck. Thank you. I'm hoping that things will go well. Music Man here says, so if you get rid of the service that you don't own it anymore, even though you paid $30 for the thing, the fuck yeah. Even though eventually Black Widow will be on Disney Plus for, like, you know, whatever you pay for your monthly subscription, which I think I pay like $8. If I were to pay the $30 for it, then I should say, having done that, I have access to a friend's account who did pay for it. That's how I've watched it. But you know, they've done that, and if they give up, yeah, it's really weird. It's kind of dumb. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I get why they're trying it. I don't think it's going to last past this year. I think Jungle Cruise is the last movie that's really going to do it. And it's going to be interesting at that point to see how many of the Rock's fans turn up to drop the 30 bones for Jungle Cruise. I'm being serious on that one. Again, I keep saying that the man is like an entertainer, but a movie star he is not. And this is going to be the true test. Even though this movie does look like almost a complete remake of the 1999 Brendan Fraser The Mummy, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, which is another reason why I'm excited to watch Jungle Cruise. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Eddie here saying, Matt, don't abandon me this time. If I have time, Eddie, I can't guarantee a damn thing. I can't guarantee a damn thing. Ryan, I don't know when I'm getting the surgery. I'm going to find out more probably in the next week or so. But I am getting an abdominal girdle tomorrow to basically keep my intestines in place. So that's kind of funny, where it's you know, I have to like order this a girdle from Amazon, right? So all things considered, I helped get Jeff Bezos to space today. I mean, never mind all the other things I've bought from Amazon and all the things you bought from Amazon over the years. But that dude literally had the midlife crisis to end all other midlife crises by looking like a Dr. Evil clone and flying a literal cock rocket into space like days after Richard Branson, and to come back and to go, I just want to thank all the Amazon employees and all the Amazon customers. And it's like, dude, are you serious? Like, are you seriously going to thank Amazon employees for all of that? That's absolutely crazy, man. Like, that to me is just effing nuts, dude. Fucking nuts. Wait, I can swear on my own show. It's fucking nuts. Like, the guy went to space and he comes down and he's like, thank you everyone for pissing in bottles. All my workers who've had to piss in bottles because we don't allow you to actually take bathroom breaks while you're working. Those of you who walk 17 miles a day at our fulfillment centers who are, you know, suffering from having, you know, pain in their back and their legs and all these things. You guys put me in space, because I'm now a middle-aged divorced man, one of the richest men in the world, and I went to space to as a midlife crisis. I mean, no one, you know, like, if you ever know anyone that does something crazy when they hit midlife, just go, calm down there, man. You're not Jeff Bezos. Chill the fuck out. Just do that. Like, that to me is pretty funny. So anyway, Music Manager does say, I bought a lot of shit from Amazon. Yeah, me too. Trust me, I have an Amazon credit card. And they like to remind me of it every single month. But Command Unit, man, 150 shekels. Thank you so much. Says here, getting surgery is never fun. Listening to the podcast while working. For future possible topic, any takes on the Warhammer Plus situation? I'm still conflicted if it's a good thing or not. And the Games Workshop, where we're just not prepared for the situation. Yeah, I unfortunately wasn't able to look into the Warhammer Plus situation today. I'm not a Warhammer person, just as an FYI. So I am unfamiliar with like how the whole thing works. There's one guy who listens. He's in the Discord. His name is Voice of the Emperor. I'll have to message him. He is really into Warhammer, and he would know all about this because he's come on before and he's talked about it a little bit. But there's also, and I'll tell you what, man, because you've been very supportive and I really appreciate that, there is a Warhammer store in my town. There's literally a Warhammer figurine store in my town. I don't know if they're open now. I've been looking to see if they've closed up shop. It apparently appears that they haven't, which is good. But I can stop by there, or I'll shoot them a call tomorrow and I'll ask them about that, and I'll see if they're open. They should be open on Thursdays, or Wednesday. Today, I don't even know what day it is anymore, but I'll shoot them a call and I'll ask them about it and see if I can get some more information, because I know you've been asking about it. I don't want to leave you in the lurch. I just don't know, and I need to take the time to research it. So we'll talk about that. And then who knows, maybe it might end up being a thing for Stranger Days if the whole situation gets really crazy, and I can do a lot of research and turn it into a full 25-minute, 30-minute podcast with just all that info. So that could be a thing as well. But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you for listening. And I hope you enjoy. I know you're a relative new chatter, and I'm hoping you're enjoying the nightly streams. So, all right. Kavita says, good luck on your surgery. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Let me just see. I just want to play catch up here real quick. All right. And Rel McMillan, $5. Thank you, Rel. Says Jeff Bezos is more tone deaf than William Hung. Ooh, that's an old cut, dude. That's an old reference. She bang, right? William, I can't ever do it correctly, but he put out a fucking CD. This William Hung guy was one of the, back in the height, I would argue, like the height of American Idol, long before the Sanjaya incident of 07 or 08, there was this guy, William Hung, who was terrible, but he came out there and he performed Ricky Martin's She Bang, but he's Vietnamese, I believe, or Laotian. And he had an accent, and he was very not tonally capable of making it a thing. And he kind of, but at the time, this is before meme culture, and the guy came out and was like, he hit meme culture, man. Like, he blew up on the internet and on local radio stations, and he got super popular as a result of all this. And he ultimately put out a CD. I never listened to it because I value my ears and my soul, but I give that man absolute props for being able to pull that off. So I definitely, I thought that was pretty funny how that whole thing came together, but thank you so much on that one. But all right, guys, here we are, 72 people already watching. Like, my God, this is insane. Like, usually we don't get this until later on in the night. If you guys are here and you're happy, do me a solid, hit that like, that'd be fantastic. Let's get it up there. So yeah, why don't we talk here about the Black Widow situation? Because I want to go back a little bit and touch on the opening of it. This was the July 11th Variety article saying here, box office, Marvel's Black Widow debuts with dazzling 80 million in theaters plus 60 million on Disney Plus. Now, this was an interesting headline and an interesting article, because if you think about it, everyone is kind of concerned, how is Black Widow going to do, right? How is Black Widow going to hold up for this first weekend? $80 million. Clearly, that's people going back out to the theaters, plus the 60 million on Disney Plus, which is what 2 million accounts had paid $30 each in order to get access to this movie early, or to watch it at home and to watch it as often as they want for as long as they have the service, until it also goes to, this is a weird thing. I'm not a big fan of the Premiere Plus. I get why they want to do it. I just feel $30 is too much, but I understand it. There's also the whole fear of missing out thing, FOMO, all that jazz. So for that, I completely understand. But one of the interesting things here too is, what everyone is really waiting for was the next weekend of it, right? Because Space Jam actually came out and did really well, because here it pulled in $31 million when it was in fact only slated, it was estimated to pull in $20 million, but Space Jam: A New Legacy somehow got a lot of butts to seats, but nowhere near as much as Black Widow from the week before. And people failed to kind of take that into account. And that was one of the things I found to be really interesting about the commentary surrounding this. Oh, Black Widow plunged in its second week. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Right now, it's doing about as well as any other movie that's coming out during the pandemic in its week to weeks, his first week to second week drop. And and Disney didn't release the Disney Premiere Plus or Premiere Access numbers for the second week, so we don't know how well it did over the course of the week. But still, Black Widow was pulling in money throughout the week. They were pulling in, I think last Tuesday, so a week ago tonight, they made like 7.5, 8 million bucks. So 10% of their weekend take home on a Tuesday, which is usually discount movie day. So the people were still going throughout the week. They were still going to watch the movie, and we're still in a pandemic, and people are still kind of afraid. So, saying here like, oh, it steals the ball away from Black Widow. Look, watch how Space Jam: A New Legacy crashes and burns next weekend, and whatever the hell comes out this weekend, I don't even know at this point what the hell comes out. And here's the thing: is even Lord Look here asks, how did Space Jam do on HBO Max? I don't know. They haven't given us that information yet. But, so you look at that, right? So this is like the first, little pushback July 18th, so a couple days ago. Then yesterday, here's this article that comes out, 2 days ago. Movie theater owners blame Marvel's Black Widow box office for collapse on the Disney Plus launch. And again, what the hell is that shit? Because that to me is just, it's totally passing the buck when its numbers are matching up with current trajectory trends for when a new movie comes out and people who are cautious about going to theaters, going to see it, and then it having the same roughly sized drop from week 1 to week 2. And so, of course, this is something that, if people are talking about, this was used as a massive attack on Black Widow. Is the movie a success? Is the movie a failure? Well, the reality of it is right now, it's all up in the air across the board. So it says here, movie theater operators did not mince words in asserting that Disney left money on the table by putting Marvel's Black Widow on Disney Plus the same day as its theatrical release. To that, I would say, did they? Because if that 60 million is to be believed, that is 60 million in direct profit to Disney. Not having to split it with the movie theaters. That's what, 60-40, whatever they take, or whatever their distribution deal is with them, whatever percentage that they take. Not having to spend as much money in print and advertising, which, I mean, sure, they spent probably a fair amount in print and advertising, but still, that is 60 million in take home with just the overhead of Disney Plus. That is money in hand. And I'm sorry, right now, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. And I have seen literally no one approaching it from that perspective. I'm sure people have brought that up, but I haven't seen it where it's like, no, that amount of money is coming in is pure profit for Disney Plus. That money that came in did not have to get split amongst the different theater chains and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, so it says here that 10 days after its domestic debut, the National Association of Theater Owners, the industry's main lobbying arm, released a fiery statement that takes aim at the Black Widow rollout. For measure, NATO seemed to like Black Widow, calling it such a well-made, well-received, highly anticipated movie. Still, the group says that $200 million budgeted Black Widow underperformed at the box office and on Disney Plus. What exactly does that even mean? Right? Like, what exactly does that even mean at all? It's like, oh, it underperformed. Dude, everything is underperforming right now. Right? Everything is. At least here domestically, things are underperforming. Right? There's still, so there's something there to consider. Now, they said here, despite assertions that this pandemic-era improvised release strategy was a success for Disney and the simultaneous release model, it demonstrates that an exclusive theatrical release means more revenue for all stakeholders in every cycle of a movie's life. Yeah, it does. All right. But we're talking a bird in the hand is we're 2 in the bush, a delayed movie by a year. Half the country is vaccinated. Well, I think, and then there's still a big fight on vaccinations. We have the Delta variant. We have a lot of other problems that are coming up as we're getting into the first, the first real leg of first month of summer. We're seeing cases increases. We're seeing more people. The cases of people who are dying are people who are unvaccinated. We've got a lot going on in this country, and there's still a fear about sitting together in enclosed, environments. And so that's why when I go see movies, generally, I tend to go later in the night when I know they're already going to be empty to begin with. So it's a little bit safer, and I get the theater to myself, and that's pretty badass. So I think this kind of I know why the National Association of Theater Owners wants to say this kind of thing. All right. But we know that it's also maybe a little bit of BS here. Maybe it's because it's a national association, which is, of course, the domestic arm, right? It's the domestic arm. And so here's something that, again, popped up today or came up yesterday over here on Deadline. Black Widow at $264 million global. Still no word on a China release. Space Jam: A New Legacy bows to 55 million worldwide. Fast 9 nears 600 million international box office. So right now, Black Widow is the number one movie in the world. It's the number one movie in the world right now, at 264 million on top of what, at least 60 million that they've reported with Disney Plus. So that's putting it at well over 320 million, and it hasn't gone to China yet. Now, I do believe that it will do well in China when it finally makes its way over to China. But still, Fast 9 hit 600 million. Godzilla v. Kong hit, I think, 400 million, worldwide back in March. So these big spectacle movies are doing well. These big spectacle films are, in fact, seeing legs in other parts of the world that have more of this situation under control. But a lot of the people out there that are very much trying to, go after all this, they say they just focus on the negative ass headline without ever actually understanding how any of the worldwide rollout works and how, movies are in a different place right now. And so I always find that to be really fascinating when talking about this situation, just because a lot of people, I think personally, don't get it. Now, it does go on. There are people out there that are now criticizing Disney for this. The Atlantic put out an article tonight that says Disney's Black Widow gamble didn't pay off. Putting brand new movies on streaming services might seem great for viewers, but in the long run is bad for everyone. We don't fully know yet. We don't fully know yet. And I don't know who the hell this David Sims guy is, but then the Atlantic is not where I go for, for hard-hitting movie journalism. But let's take a look here at what David says. So the release of Black Widow earlier this month was one of the biggest tests of a new Hollywood paradigm that emerged after the coronavirus pandemic began. The simultaneous rollout of a blockbuster in theaters and on streaming services, the latest Marvel movie opened in thousands of cinemas in the US and Canada. On the same day, it was made available to Disney Plus subscribers at a $30 surcharge. At first, the gambit seemed to work. In its opening weekend, the film made $80 million at the domestic box office and another $60 million in streaming, a seemingly perfect argument for hybridized approach. Yeah, but again, that second week drop-off was always going to be a thing. And I feel like a lot of people, they willfully overlook that they just want to see, like, they just want to dump on it for one. And they willfully overlook even what it does during the week. What it does during the week is still something that's important. If you guys recall, when The Rise of Skywalker came out, it came out right before Christmas. I think it did like $40 million on Christmas Day, right? Like $40 million on Christmas Day. It was huge on Christmas Day. It was massive on Christmas Day. And leading up to that, the movie was making a ton of money. We're talking hand over fist in the holiday weekdays before the weekend. But most people only really focus on the weekend stuff, right? They never look at the in between, And I remember when like Alita Battle Angel came out, and I was watching the day-to-day numbers come on in, really hoping that thing would get close to 400 million and then cross over. And when it did, it was cool. But that's kind of the whole point here. It's just people are not taking this kind of stuff into account. So anyway, so it says here, then came last weekend when Black Widow posted 26.3 million, a 67% drop at the box office and the steepest such decline in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe brand. Again, relatively unfair because we are playing on uneven territory, or unknown and shaky territory. Unlike the week before, Disney didn't tout its online sales numbers, suggesting a similarly sharp fall. Well, yeah, I mean, look, Disney Plus has got over 100 million subscribers. That $30 million value, that $30 premium surcharge is really just there to get the whales, right? The whales, the people out there who aren't willing to wait. But again, it's also the long game for Disney, because it might be coming out in a couple months of Disney Plus, but that's a couple months of those 100 million people. Let's say 30 million people didn't get it, but they still keep their Disney Plus subscription. Obviously, there's still money coming in every single month, and that does play into this kind of stuff as well. So it's very fascinating. And then it says here, but Black Widow now looks as if it will struggle to beat the domestic total of the first Captain America film from 10 years ago. It's a terrible, it's a shitty take on this, in my opinion. Now he says here, what initially seemed like the vindication of a dual release strategy then turned out to be a neat example of the strategy's financial foolishness. After all, if everyone can access a new blockbuster at once, it's unlikely to hold people's attention for longer than a week. But the thing is, though, if only 2 million people if 2 million accounts actually did it, how many millions of people? And also how many people paid to go see it in theaters and then still dropped the $30 surcharge? You know, if we were in a space where theaters were at full capacity and the movie dropped, it still dropped in theaters and then hit Disney Plus, would there still be as steep of a drop off? The answer is yeah, but there'd still be more money in the opening weekend and whatever from people who wanted to go see it in the theaters with their friends and family and then go home and watch it again. You would get a fair amount of that. Now, granted, piracy plays a part into that, and I do want to talk about that as we get further into this. You know, now cinema owners here have pointed out that moviegoers are still willing to see titles in theaters and pay to watch them at home later. The only reason they aren't doing that is because studios are choosing instant gratification over sustainability. Studios, it's not that they're choosing instant gratification over sustainability. What they're actually doing is they're looking out for their bottom line, which is their sustainability. All right, and I've said this multiple times for years. And this is coming from a person who loves movie theaters, who has spent a large portion of their life working in movie theaters, who loves the industry as much as the art. Theaters need to adapt or die. They've needed to for such a long time. The adaptation in the mid 2000s, right? Or I should say post 2010, when we had that 3D craze, was to absolutely pump and dump 3D movies that were terribly made because they weren't shot for 3D. They weren't shot for that. They were shot and for normal 2D, and then they were post converted to 3D. And then we had that premium upcharge for like an extra $5-6 a ticket in some cases for a terrible movie that was terrible 3D. I mean, it's just like god awful. And they did that for years. IMAX, premium surcharge with 3D. I don't want that. Thank God, like a couple, back at 2017 when Logan came out, they started putting movies in IMAX without being in 3D, because while it is a neat little thing, it doesn't need to be everything. All right. Movie theaters try to adapt and play into this new technology, when the reality of it is they need to be focusing on how to tap into their local community in order to find sustainability. And I'm sorry, there are ways they can do that. They choose not to because they want to just follow the studios, and the studios are going to look out for themselves. And I get it that it's a symbiotic relationship, but the studios still hold the power. And so I understand that the National Association of Theater Owners are upset at this whole situation, but at the same time, everyone is struggling. So what do you think they're going to do? They're just going to, no, it's business. That's the problem here. That's the biggest issue here. And anyway, now the final part here says, in the next few months are crucial time for Hollywood as audiences return after a year of closures and capacity limits. Well, there's still closures and there's still capacity limits, by the way. The summer's biggest release have already come and gone. Of August's offering, only Warner Brothers' Suicide Squad seems like a guaranteed box office hit, and that will simultaneously debut on HBO Max. The heaviest of the studio hitters, No Time to Die, Dune, Eternals, and Top Gun Maverick, aren't arriving until October or November. The reason why NATO's statement has such a ring of aggression to it is that the theater chains see the rest of 2021 as a test of their industry's long-term viability. And here's the thing with that. Like I said, that is not necessarily the studio's fault. That is a change in how we view. Not saying that I like it necessarily. I love theaters, but it's their fault for not adapting with the times. And now, granted, look, when it came to COVID, no one was expecting it. All right, just like the Spanish Inquisition, no one was expecting it, but it happened. And they didn't adapt fast enough because they also weren't allowed to, and that was also because of government, like the state shutdowns and all that jazz, as a way to save lives. I get it. I support it. As much as I hated not going to the theater for 15 months, I totally understand why, and I support why. Drive-ins were still a thing. I did go to the drive-in last year to go see Evil Dead and Army of Darkness in a double feature, which was amazing, and I loved it. And I'm looking forward to going back to the drive-in this year as well. So it's like there are ways people can go see things, but they also have to look at how the audiences are responding to where we are, technological advances, and again, an unwillingness to adapt. That's happening here. Now, I'm sorry, I mispronounced that name, but he says, correction, it is, wait, maybe something with something else here. I misread the chat. But anyway, let me talk about the piracy. Well, real quick here, I wanted to take a look here at the Rotten Tomatoes for Black Widow. Look, you've got 81% on 379 reviews and a 92% audience score based on 10,000 verified ratings. So the people who went to go see this, they thought highly of it, which means that this is going to translate to more people buying it on home video and more people getting the Disney Premiere access, and the people who are going to find a way to watch it and they're going to find a way to see it. And so that is going to ring more money for Disney, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to do well for theaters. And that part does suck. But like I said, they very much need to figure out a way to make this a better approach, and they're just not necessarily doing it. Now, Mike here does say movie theater ads suck. They do. And there are too many of them. Like when I saw Black Widow, there was so many commercials before the movie began. And then there were so many previews before the movie began. It was already a 2-hour, 30-minute movie. And they tacked on an additional 25 minutes in previews for the three of us in the fucking auditorium. This was the last show of the night. Just close it out. Who cares? I don't, it was cool seeing some of the previews, but I don't need all the advertisements. But again, there's nothing that the theater can do about it because that is the contracts that they enter into with those advertising companies. And that all comes down from corporate. You want to get mad at movie theaters? It's really corporate that just looks at everything from a pure financial situation. Now, this is what I wanted to touch on when we talk about piracy. Now, there's a website here called Torrent Freak. You can get a lot of information about what's going on in the world of piracy. There's a lot of good news here. By good, I mean interesting, not necessarily showing you how to do it. So no, this isn't teaching you how to download movies, but it is watching what gets pirated and it is watching what exactly is coming out. All right, let's see here. So we're looking here. Black Widow is the number one torrented movie. All right. And then followed up by Gunpowder Milkshake, which is a Netflix movie. The Tomorrow War, which is a Netflix movie. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which is still in theaters, but it did actually end up going to VOD, I believe, not long after, about a month after it came out. And so that's already up. Space Jam: A New Legacy is on HBO Max. That's clearly, that's number 5. A Quiet Place Part 2 just premiered this week on Paramount Plus, I believe. So obviously this was going to end up there. Cruella has already been out. Boss Baby has already been out for the last couple of weeks. Fear Street Part 1, 1994. And Luca, again, Netflix, Disney Plus. This is on Peacock. This is on Disney Plus, if the Premiere access. This is on PlayStation Plus. This is on HBO Max. This is on VOD. This is on Amazon. This is on Netflix. And then this is on Disney Plus with Premiere access. You can start to see, as you look at this pattern here, the movies that are being pirated the most are the ones that are being available to that's on streaming services. And a lot of these are for streaming. Well, not all of them. They all go to, a lot of them at the theater, but they premiered there as well. So, and then no one's talking about how they're dropping, other films are dropping. It's just one of those weird things. Now, Cam here asks, why pirate movies that are on Netflix and Amazon, are people really that cheap? Yes. What did I say? I thought I said Amazon. I thought I said Amazon for Tomorrow War. I might have screwed up there, but it is an Amazon movie. But Cam here, look, the reason why people pirate movies is because oftentimes they don't get them in their own countries. And they also, people out there don't want to pay for them. Just saying. So there's a lot of that's right there. So it goes to show you that when it comes to piracy, the Black Widow is leading the pack. But look, the final thing I'll say about this, because I've been going on for about 20 minutes now about what I think about this. I don't look at Black Widow as being a failure. I don't look at Black Widow as being something that needs, that is being treated, I think, relatively fairly. We are still in a very uncertain time in regards to the pandemic and the return to theaters. We are still very much trying to figure things out, being viewers, where we're going to see something. Is it safe to go see something in theaters? People are worried. People are paranoid with good reason. Deaths are still happening. Not everyone is vaccinated. You finally have Fox News coming out, Sean Hannity telling people get vaccinated. That blew my mind when that happened the other day. So you know what? People eventually will get back to it. But people that are trying to hold these movies to old school standards when we are absolutely in the new age is bunk, in my opinion. And I think that things are just going to be very rocky for a long period of time. But that being said, Black Widow, in my opinion, has done well, not as well as I think Disney ultimately wanted. But this is a movie. This was, remember, the first phase 4 film. This was meant to kind of get us back into the world, as well as give us closure for for Scarlett Johansson's character, for Natasha. And then we're now from there, we're going into Shang-Chi, which is in a couple months. That's theaters only. Eternals, theaters only. Spider-Man No Way Home, theaters only, which apparently I see the chat and people are talking about that particular trailer is dropping in a couple days, supposedly. I don't know. I haven't heard. But I want to hear your thoughts about Black Widow. I do. I want to hear your thoughts here. I'm going to drop this poll. I'm just going to drop this real quick in the chat. Okay, so yeah, feel free to go ahead and vote on this right here. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts. And also, please, again, there's 77 of you. Go ahead and hit that like button, son of a bitch. All right. Let me quickly get over to some super chats here. H-Bart's asking, hey, Matt, how are you? Hernia stuff. It's discomforting, but other than that, I'm okay. Really appreciate it. And then I know you sent another one here, another $5 from H-Bart's, man. Saying here, was listening to a podcast. They said Loki is overrated and did not advance as a show like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that he disagrees with that. Yeah. How do you not look at Loki and go and like legitimately say, no, it didn't move the needle forward at all. Really? I mean, that finale kind of broke the needle. Shattered it into a million itty bitty pieces. I think that is kind of stupid, to be honest with you. But there we go on that one. I love Loki. Falcon and Winter Soldier was really good as well. People have been bagging on Loki for like the stupidest reasons because they dumb. All right. And Shrek is daddy. $2. Thank you, sir. Says Charlie Cox pretty much confirmed for No Way Home. 2 days. How exactly is it confirmed for that? I'm curious to know, Shrek. What is the confirmation here? Like, can someone send me a link on Twitter, DM me on Twitter, and let me know what the hell I'm looking at here? Because I would really, really, really like to know what is happening. And then I did see that Ryan had put down a super chat as well. It says, I want to let you know that I recently sent you a package yesterday. It should arrive sometime today or tomorrow. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll check the P.O. box in a couple days just to be on the safe side. Thank you very much for that, Ryan. I always appreciate your packages. And Ryan sent me newspaper clippings this week of a film festival that was playing up by Seattle and everything else. Hey Ryan, let me ask you a question. Are you a fan of Dune? Are you a fan of Dune at all? Let me know, because if you are, I'm not going to be able to go to the event in Bellevue tomorrow. I can give you my tickets if you would like to go. It's like a 30-minute event. I called the theater today to confirm the length, but just right now, because of the hernia, I don't want to drive 75 miles one direction just to sit down for 30 minutes and then drive the hell back. So if you want to go to that tomorrow, it's 7:00 at the Cinemark in Bellevue. Hit me up and I can give you my tickets if you want. It's just a QR code. So that might be something. Let's see here. Nathan Boatwright here says, the Fandom Menace has wrote Black Widow as a failure like a week before it dropped. I know they tried that. They definitely tried that. Duck Dodgers here says the biggest flop is LeBron James' Space Jam 2. He was a dick in that whole movie. He was a complete asshole until the very end. Anyway, so I'm gonna drop the link here. I know people have been wanting to call on in. I know people have been asking to call on in. So there's that. Okay, Luke Stone here says that he canceled the Comic-Con con appearance for reshoots of a movie. And are you thinking that, of course, is Charlie Cox going to be working on No Way Home? I don't know. And Eddie here says something very similar as well. So, okay, I don't know. But Adam says Charlie Cox is not confirmed. Shrek is basing this on Cox canceling the con appearance, and the report is coming from comicbook.com. Oh, God, they'll report on anything. They'll literally report on anything. That's the problem. And then, of course, Duck Dodgers here is quoting Weird Al, living with a hernia. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. Anyway, Jeremy McAndrew here, $5, man, thank you, says, hey, Matt, what are your thoughts on how long the MCU can sustain a cinematic universe before people start to get bored? Oh, man. With the inclusion of television and the inclusion of the fact that they're going to be premiering characters on the TV, on Disney Plus shows, and then moving them into the to the theaters, and they're going to have now with all the X-Men characters and the Fantastic Four characters and all the other characters that Marvel owned, and then also having the deal with Sony, because that's I believe gonna really work itself out into something major. All things considered, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? As long as the content maintains at least the same level of quality it's at right now, it will be fine. People aren't going to get bored because they're spacing it out well enough to where, like, they might give you something new every single month. And I don't think that's going to burn people out. People generally really seem to like this kind of stuff. And so it's definitely something that I think is going to be okay. But at the same, because here's the thing, look, Fantastic Four is going to blow the lid off shit. All right. If you think it's stale or boring post Thanos, we got Kang the Conqueror now. And they've already proven that he's a bigger threat than Thanos was. And that's going to lead to probably Fantastic Four and the whole Quantumania thing and the Quantum Realm. Then you're going to be talking about, like Galactus and whatever is going to come past that. I mean, there's a lot that's going to be happening with this stuff for a while now, to where we've at least got another 10, 15, 20 years of content before any of this gets to be like stale and just repetitive. So we're going to get and the thing is, if they treat it like a season of a TV show where you have your mini arcs in those seasons, that's going to end up being something that I think keeps people very fascinated as time goes on. So I'm not worried about it at all. Not one bit, but I do want to actually, it's funny you say that. I do want to bring up one thing that I saw today. And I think this is really fascinating. So a couple things about Marvel for one. So real quick here, Victoria Alonso has confirmed that both Miss Marvel and Hawkeye will premiere by the end of 2021. So we're getting at least 2 more Marvel shows coming out this year on Disney Plus, as well as What If. So that's 3 shows on top of literally 3 movies that are coming out this year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That is a lot of content for the last 6 months of the year. So, and people aren't going to get bored of that because it's so different and it's so varied, but it's still part of the same universe, which is still something that ultimately DC has not been able to pull off yet. So that's something there to consider. Additionally, what you have here, and this is just something that they put out today as well, Marvel Studios is creating an animation branch and a mini studio to help develop animated titles. Now we know What If is the first, Marvel Studios produced animated show, but this is what Victoria Alonso is saying about this in an interview with Variety. She says here, we have so much coming your way. You might tell us, okay, take a break now, which is something, again, in response to your comment about people getting bored. There could also be the oversaturation, which is another issue with that. So what they're talking about here is, I just want to make sure I got it right. Okay. I'm just trying to find that quote because I lost it from earlier. All right, damn it. Where's that? Anyway, I lost it. Okay, it's fine. We'll just go back to this here, right? So if they're creating an animation branch and a mini studio to develop more animated titles, what that ultimately means is the mini studio is going to be something that's going to be creating the content for probably, I would say for studio, I would say probably for theatrical release. Imagine a Marvel animated movie going to theaters and then being on Disney Plus, or all these other animated shows that are going to be very, very much doing their own thing, because they tried that with Disney XD. They put out a bunch of animated shows like Guardians of the Galaxy and I think a Spider-Man show, and they did okay. Sure, they were for that kid audience, but now we're in a world where they can play with it a lot more, and Feige's going to be the one overseeing everything. And that's going to be something that's going to tie in together. So when I talk about the interesting stuff that they're going to be doing in the future, this is what I'm talking about. Right now, when it comes to animated superhero content, DC has got it locked and loaded. But while their stories have been good and their voice acting, the talent has been amazing, the animation has been kind of choppy. You know what I mean? Like, go and watch Justice League Dark Apokolips War. It's a brutally cool movie. But sometimes the animation gets a little rough. They kind of cut a little corners here and there. And I've noticed that with other things that they've done as well, like the Deathstroke movie. You know, like there was the Knights and Dragons film. There was sometimes the animation felt very kind of, you know, they very quickly got through a couple scenes by eliminating frames. And Disney ain't going to do that because they've got the resources with all their stuff to be able to make it work. And it's working with Star Wars and the Bad Batch. Imagine Marvel Cinematic shows that are like the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. They could do that. They could have a showrunner come in and just really take us on these wild, crazy, cool adventures. Imagine a reboot of the X-Men animated series that is now taking us through those worlds as well. There's a lot that could go on with this. And again, it being all under the same roof, controlled by the same people, is going to allow for a level of consistency. And that consistency is going to be something that, honest to God, fans, that's what they fucking want. They just want consistency. The quality can vary, but as long as you're consistent, people are going to be happy. So anyway, I know I answered your question in a very, very, very long time to get there, but I appreciate you listening. So there was another super chat that I missed here. Arkham Gaming, $5. Thank you very much. So it says, "Hi Matt, did you see the Flash TV show turned into Star Wars? It's so funny. I saw a video floating around on Twitter." Oh no. I absolutely saw that. I absolutely saw that clip. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know the context of it, but I did see it is, you know what? I'll bring it up real quick. I'm not going to play any sound on it, but it was, oh wow. This is, at this point in time, it's really time to just, it's time to kill the Flash. It's time to just end that show. Cause it is just no. All right. Like, no. No. Like just get rid of it. It is over. You cannot come back from this right here. It is, okay, hold on. This is, all right, let me just get this prepped up here. This is apparently from The Flash tonight. It's just a couple seconds to give you guys an idea. And this is from, it may still work or not, but let's see here. This is what it's doing. Look at this. They are literally fighting with lightsabers. They are literally fighting with lightsabers, but it's like the Speed Force, right? It's the different Speed Forces in lightsaber form. This has gone full Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from the 1990s. This is like, just, like, I can't even wrap my brain around this in the way that maybe I should. This is terrible, you guys. This is absolutely terrible. This is, if you guys could see it, like, let me know. I don't know if it popped up or not. It should have. It is bad. That is so terrible there. Real quick here, HBar's $2 says, they said Loki only advanced the wide MCU. Like, okay, it did very much on there. So yeah, anyway, there's that. Silent Scotty says that's so lame. Yeah, dude. No. 100%. It is that lame. So, all right. Why don't we take a quick couple calls here? There's a couple people that are in the back. I'll drop the link once more for people who want to come on in. Yeah, Music Man here says, "What the fuck? Come on, no lightsabers. Fuck Greg. God damn it." And when I have said, by the way, and I've made this point before, when I have said that it's time for Greg Berlanti to get pulled the fuck out of DC content, was I wrong? No, I wasn't wrong. I'm never wrong on that one. When you go full on Star Wars, it's bad. All right. So, I guess I should give this guy an introduction. He's been asking for it a little bit. No, not the main introduction. I'm going to do a bigger introduction for the next guy. So I see you there, buddy, but take a seat. I'll get to you in a minute. All right. I see you right there. So you know what, guys, I think we have to give a proper introduction, because right now this person is hiding under a sheet. Right now, the person is hiding from life. I don't know why. I don't know what's bugging him, but I want to know what makes Ed Evolution so scared to hide under a blanket.
I'm hiding under my blanket because it's late and I don't want my mom to throw a bitch fit. Come on, shut up.
You're hiding under your to call into a late night movie podcast, and you're like, I'm gonna get under the covers and talk to Matt. Like, are you gonna like? You're not touching yourself, are you? I just have to ask that question for legal purposes.
No, my hands are here. I'm
Okay.
just holding my phone.
Anyway, Lord
Plus,
Slug here.
plus,
Lord says King Eddie. There we go.
oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment, Slug. I like it.
There you go. All right. So, all right, Eddie. What's your topic and what you wanted to bring up?
Um, no. I mean, really, like, I mean, the whole situation with Black Widow kind of like strikes me as a bit odd because it's like this movie, because like the movie was good. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like Endgame level type of good, but I mean, it was still, for a final movie for ScarJo, I think it was. I think it was pretty good, and I mean, I don't know what's going on, but like I don't expect this movie to I don't expect this movie to hit 1 billion, and to be honest, that's not a bad thing
I don't think it was
because
ever going to hit 1 billion. That's the whole point.
no,
I don't think it was ever going to hit 1 billion.
no, of course, no, absolutely not. And that plus not every Marvel movie in the MCU hit $1 billion, and those movies did well to warrant sequels. Now, of course, we know that the Black Widow sequel is going to have Yelena as the lead. We know that, but my point is like people are looking at this and saying, "Oh, Black Widow didn't do well. This should have done better." It's like, well, I mean, we just had like a big um payoff film with Infinity War and Endgame. I'm like,
But that was
you
2 years
can't
ago.
expect
That was
them to
two
go
years ago.
exactly. It was 2 years ago. It's like you can't go you how much bigger could you possibly go? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean, I think if you watch Loki, they've proven they can go much bigger because
No, absolutely. Yeah,
they effectively
absolutely.
proved that like, oh yeah, no, you guys like this. Remember, they treated Thanos like he was a big bad, and he was a big bad. But then in the grand scheme
Mhm.
of things, you got to go back to that line from the Phantom Menace where Qui-Gon says, "There's always a bigger fish." So it's like, and that is a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
keen approach to this, where it's like there's always a bigger fish, and even to tie it in, there's a great 1993 movie called The Last Action Hero. Did you ever see that one with Schwarzenegger in it?
Of course. It's been
All
it's
right.
been years though.
It's a great film, but there's that great line where he's always like talking about how there's that part where he's talking about how he's like, I don't get it. Like every year I get into a crazier situation and then I always seem to survive. And it's just like, yeah, because they need to like always kind of make it harder for you. And
Hmm.
that's kind of, the progression of these action films and everything else. And comics are bad the exact same way.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
and
that's
go ahead. No, yeah, go ahead,
so
go ahead.
to me it's pretty funny, but I did Mike Oxlong here brings up an interesting point, and I did notice this. He says loved all the close-up shots of ScarJo's ass.
I loved it. I
Well,
don't
I
get
know, yeah,
I don't get the issue.
there's no see here's the thing. There was like, because there was the interviews of Scarlett Johansson where she was talking about the over sexualization of Natasha's character in
Hmm.
Iron Man 2, but that was also the point of her character in Iron Man 2. The point was to be titillating to Robert Downey Jr. because she was meant to be his assistant, and like he was still a womanizer at that point. And
Hmm.
so, they sent her in to gain his trust and to throw him off guard. And then, but showing that she was still capable at the end of the movie. But then
They
you
did
go
in
and
in the first event, in the
they
first
well
Avengers too.
they did. There is that shot where it's like literally like her ass and like Loki's head, and that was a shot that a lot of people like that gets brought up quite often. And I was watching Black Widow and Kate Shorthand, the director, like so many shots of like ScarJo's back end. It's like, is this just your signature move at this point?
I
Like
mean,
there
this
were
is a woman. This is a woman director doing this. It's like, come on, you know?
well, that was the thing that kind of caught my eye. They were trying to they did desexualize her quite a bit, and I'm not saying that as
Of
a
course.
negative. I never found that to be a problem. I was like, okay, cool. She, because like she's sitting there like eating, she's like eating frozen food, watching a Roger Moore Bond movie on a
Which,
laptop.
by the way, she did a pretty good impression when she was watching. When that little scene, I thought that kind of made me chuckle.
Yeah, no, I thought that was good. It was good to see her in like a non, hero pose moment, right? And I enjoyed
Mhm.
that quite a bit. But I still like when she got into that motorhome and you see her butt, and then like when she's going into the apartment and it focuses on her butt, it's like, come on, we know what you're doing. Like we know what you're doing. If people gave Joss
Mhm.
Whedon shit for that image of her butt in in the first Avengers movie, but then like there's at least
Well,
three
then again,
times
Whedon's also kind of like a creepy,
he is a creep. He is a creep.
whatever.
Definitely a creep. But it's like then you watch Black Widow and there's like three different times and the camera's like main focus is her behind. And I thought that was it wasn't distracting to take me out of the movie, but I recognized that that was a thing. And I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I got two more questions real quick because I know
Yeah.
you got people to get to. The first one is, as much as I love Scarlett Johansson, I'm always gonna love her. But what what is up with what is up with I feel like there's some, I don't want to say hypocrisy as far as like her beliefs and stuff, but like when she talks about the over sexualization of her characters and stuff, and she talks about it, and you feel like she's basically, when she talks about it, she's like, you feel like she talks as if she's advocating against it, but then when she does the movies, they kind of sexualize her anyway, and she doesn't say a word about it. Like, do you kind of get the
Yeah. Yeah.
the odd and odd in
It's
there?
like when she went to go speak at the Women's March, and she went up
Mhm.
there and like she gave her speech, and then you're watching like Ghost in the Shell a few months later, and Ghost in the Shell, it's her like in a skin tight bodysuit for the whole movie. Now, granted, like the suit plays a purpose, but still,
I
it's
mean, it
like
was in the anime too,
yeah, it was in the
so
anime, but
yeah.
still, it's like there's that, and then there's all those gratuitous butt shots that are in this, and it's like, yeah. The thing is, though, like, look, people in Hollywood, the business side of it and the activism side of it, they rarely ever meet. Okay, they rarely ever meet.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, a lot of the stuff is just it's absolute lip service from everybody, from literally
Mhm.
everybody, because at the end of the day, the people, the powers that be, the people in charge, they're still, no matter who they are, they're still interested in just the bottom line. They want to make money. They want to have the widest reach possible. And if they can get some good PR points for playing up certain
Mhm.
things, they're going to play up certain things. Now,
Because it's like, Scar, I love you, but come on, make up your mind already.
well, what's funny about that too is like she was going to do that movie where she played a trans woman,
Yeah, I
a woman.
remember Rub and Tug.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Dude, I've watched you for a long time. I remember you
I
covered
talked
that.
about that. Yeah. I mean, how often do I get to say the term rub and tug seriously in a serious
Although if you say it
context?
with your eyes closed, that doesn't sound right.
It's just
But my
legalize. They
second,
need to legalize more of those places. I'm just saying.
yeah, but my
Uh,
second, yeah, and the last thing I wanted to touch upon was the Charlie Cox thing. I sent or I posted the link in the group page on Facebook saying that he had just canceled the recent uh, convention appearance due to quote unquote film scheduling, and so um, a lot of people are put two and two together, and they're speculating, excuse me, that it could be for Spider-Man. Now, granted, there's also She-Hulk that's currently filming too, so it could be for that. But the point is that he canceled a con appearance for for filming scheduling. So that kind of, while it doesn't confirm anything, it also kind of adds more, adds more evidence that either of those two Marvel projects is the case, because I think they're doing additional reshoots right now for No Way Home. So, and I have a feeling he's going to be a
well,
part of that.
they just wrapped production on No Way Home. Sorry, you guys might hear my daughter is my
No, it's okay. But
yeah.
no, but like, right, but like they just announced recently additional reshoots, and which Kevin Feige said like that's normal for most of their movies.
Well, yeah,
So
they do.
yeah,
I mean,
they wrap
everything has
production.
reshoots of it, right? But right now, there's a show called Kin that's in post production that he is in apparently,
Or it
and
could be for
so
that. Who
and
knows? But it
so
could, yeah.
yeah. But then again, Kin tells the story of a fictional Dublin family embroiled in a gangland war and speaks to the enduring, unbreakable bonds of blood and family.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Charlie Cox, he's listed as being in the show, but it doesn't say how many episodes he is in. So,
Does it say anything about them doing reshoots of
not
their
that I can
season?
see.
Of that
Yeah,
first
not that
season?
I can see. But then again, right now they only have like one episode listed up here. So it could be, it could be a couple different things. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what ultimately happens with it. It's
Yeah,
possible that, that he could be doing, reshoots, but I'm pretty sure they would already have brought him in and shot his part. So,
but I mean, comic book movie, not comic book movie, comicbook.com is saying that, but they're not the source. I mean, there's another source that they grabbed it from, but they're just reporting on it. That's the only link I found. That's why I sent it.
yeah. Well, then that's the comicbook.com will literally report on anything though. Kind of like Screen Rant.
Mm.
They'll literally report on anything. They don't care. They have some author like pump out 500 words in order to like hit the bare minimum for what they need to put out an article, and that's what they do, and that's it. And sometimes you get, like you get some good stuff, but most of the time it's just like regurgitating what they found. It's like Heroic Hollywood is mostly known at this point for just sharing, like fan art that they find on Instagram. Like that's
What kind of
literally
fan
it.
art?
They'll go like, here,
Oh,
see
the fan
Charlie
art cover,
Cox
yeah.
as Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home, you know? And they'll say that on there, and you're like, wait, was he in No Way Home? And then you click on it, and it's all like, oh, here's a fan art of what he could look like in No Way Home.
Which
And it's
I've
like,
liked a lot of the fan arts that they've shown.
yeah,
It
but
looks pretty good.
it's like, they need to be more transparent with that. I don't read Heroic Hollywood anymore. I've just outright
No,
stopped
I
reading
don't
it.
either. I look them up on Google.
Yeah.
The
Oh well,
fan art pictures.
Shrek is
That's
daddy
it.
here says that's because Heroic Hollywood is run by that clown El Miambi. Yeah, yeah, Umberto. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I know. It was really funny though. Is he runs
the rap.
yeah, he works for the Rap, and then he runs Heroic Hollywood. It's like, isn't there like and he writes about superhero stuff for the Rap. I'm like, isn't there like a conflict of interest? Like,
Well,
isn't
we
there?
know which side of we know which side of Warner Brothers that guy's on. So
I don't. Yeah, I don't read half this stuff anymore. I just choose to kind of make my own opinion on it. But anyway, all right, man, I'm gonna let you go.
for sure.
And I appreciate you coming on, man, and I'm glad your phone worked this time. So we'll have to wait and see if it
Me
works
too. Yeah.
again next time.
And remember, and what was I gonna say? And remember, like the next time somebody wants to bring a Scarlett Johansson topic about the whole over sexualization, think of that dry humping scene from Don John.
What's really funny is the theater that they go to in Don John. I worked at briefly.
That's the one you worked at when you were younger, right?
No.
That's
That's not one of the. What that was is it's one of the movies that. Oh God, what was it? We had opened the theater in North Hollywood where I was living while I was working in Pasadena, and I went
right.
over there when they opened. I was there for like a week, helping them set up. And the thing was, like, I lived 17 miles from my theater, and then this theater was like 2 miles away. And I just wanted to work at that theater, and they wouldn't transfer me, unfortunately.
That sucks.
And yeah, I probably would have still like worked for the company for a long time if I was actually able to be closer to home. But they were a terrible company, and I'm glad to not work for them anymore. Fuck Regency theaters. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. It's been 10 years since I was fired. I can clearly say fuck Regency. But no, they shot the theater scene there. And so like I knew all the managers there, and they were all like, I think one of them's like even in the movie in a background shot. Like they were like all excited to like be in this, Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie. And then here comes Scarlett Johansson and like, yeah, we got to meet ScarJo. And I'm like, you guys fucking suck.
Oh,
So.
you were jealous that day.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's always a bit of jealousy there on that one. So
Yeah. We should all look to that scene, though, if we ever bring the conversation of ScarJo up again, because ScarJo should kind of like eat her own words a little bit, as much as I love her.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something. So, all right, man. Well, hey, we'll talk again soon, all right?
All right, man. See ya.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so real quick, Mike Oxlon here, $2 super chat, says we better get that butt shot of Brie in the Marvels. Okay, come on, man. Like, if you are so interested in wanting to see Brie Larson, look, she's got Instagram and Twitter videos of her working out. There you go. I saved you a lot of waiting. I don't know, man. Like that's for you. I have my own opinions on those videos. I always find those videos to be fascinating because like Amber Heard does it, Brie Larson does it, and it's like, oh, I want you guys to see me working out, and I'm like, there was literally one of them where she was doing like the pull up, and like the camera like very much focused on her rear end for a solid few seconds, and it felt like it was more aimed there for like the long haul to kind of, you know, to really make you pay attention. And I don't know, I just kind of I'm not gonna lie, I felt that it was weird. I just felt that it was weird. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I get it, but okay. Like, actually, I can already see the comments of just people like eggplant emoji, water squirt emoji. And it's like, all right, guys, come on. So anyway, that's, oh, you guys are really talking about those No Way Home leaks. Anyway, all right. So let's go into the next person here. We'll get to this guy real quick. He's a regular caller on the show. You guys know him. You guys have been waiting a long time, like I have, to hear the tales of the Anthony Chabot saga.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man.
I'm doing great. I just finally saw Black Widow.
Oh, you finally finished it?
Yes, and it was good. It was interesting. I got some new tapes.
Nice. What'd you get? You got Spy Game. That was a good one.
Yep, I got.
And then Wallace and Gromit, A Close Shave. Okay.
Hey, here's a one for you. Here's a kicker for you.
Ah, The Mummy, 1999. Wait, hold on. Hold up the case. Ah, that's a Hollywood Video sticker.
Not actually, yeah, that's a Blockbuster actually.
Is it Blockbuster? Ah, well, you know, I miss those days of going to those theaters, man. You know what I mean? Like I miss the days, or like theaters. I miss the days of going to the video store.
Look what else I got.
What else? Oh, Tiny Toon Big Adventures, still better than Space Jam 2.
Yep, look at this. This is from Blockbuster.
Oh, and The Mummy Returns.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Hold that back up again and show me the bottom of the bottom of it right there, like the bottom of the case. Okay, no, okay. I thought I saw like a logo I wanted to see. No. It's like where like where you would pull the tape out. Yeah, no, but there's like it's like the broken line right there. It's fine. I thought I saw something I clearly didn't see. So that's okay. So good. So have you been enjoying all that?
Yeah, but I finally watched Black Widow. It sets up for Hawkeye.
Well, spoiler alert, dude.
Yeah, and I saw Fear Street 1978.
Nice. How was that one? Don't tell me spoiler though, because I haven't seen it yet.
It's better. Part 2 is better than part 1.
Well, I hear part 3 is better than part 1 and part 2.
I haven't watched Space Jam: A New Legacy yet, but I'm going to get to it. I'm getting my COVID shot.
Oh, good.
Because my mom and stepdad went for their COVID shot.
Well, I mean, like I think it's good to get a COVID shot, you know, especially if you want to go back to the theaters and you want to go out and you do live in a big city.
Yeah, in the city, but the thing is that 38 years is coming up soon.
Oh, yeah. When is your birthday again? I'm sorry,
September
I forgot.
2nd.
When is it?
September 2.
So, September 2nd. Okay. Yeah. You got a little, about what, month and a half to go?
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to explore the world again. I'm not going to Comic-Con. R.I.P. Biz Marquee.
I did hear that he passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him. So I'm doing good and everything. I'm getting a box of tapes in about a week or so.
Okay. Anything specific in that box of tapes?
Rocky 2.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Rocky 2, Oh God, Dave, Crocodile Dundee.
Okay, I did just see that that I forget which, I think Paramount has Crocodile Dundee. They just put out the triple pack on Blu-ray.
And I'm currently reading this bad boy.
Nice. Which Avengers one is that? That's Epic Collection Avengers.
Volume 163 to 65.
Wow.
I'm reading Captain America, how he re-enter society.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm doing good and everything. You know, I'm hoping that you have a successful surgery, Matt.
Thank you.
I don't know. Shaggy. Shout out to her.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know where Shaggy is tonight, or Saggy. But hey, screw it. We're just gonna start calling her Shaggy. We'll be like, you know what, Anthony Chabot, He named you Shaggy. There you go. That's your new name on the
So
channel.
my prayers go out to you, Matt Jarble.
Thank you. I should be fine. It's going to take a little bit to get to the.
But the COVID shot's gonna hurt.
Do you know which one you're getting?
We don't know yet. My mom and stepdad are gonna take me.
Well, if you're getting Moderna, I took Moderna, and the second one is where it gets you. But if you're getting Johnson & Johnson, I think you should be okay. A lot of people right now are doing Johnson & Johnson. So anyway,
my stepdad's birthday's coming up as well. He'll be 67.
Cool.
He looks good for his age.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'll let you go. Thank you very much, Anthony, and we'll talk later, buddy. All right. Thank you, everyone. Anthony Chabot, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check him out. He's got a biopic coming at some point in time in his life. He won't tell me anything about it. Super secretive, super crazy stuff. And I think it's gonna be funny. Yeah. Shaggy Melons. Shaggy Melons sounds cooler. There we go. We've now renamed. Shut up, Mike. J&J doesn't kill you. Anyway, so let's get into. I did drop the link again. We'll take a couple more calls. There's some people that are back here still. And let's bring up Andrew Casali. How's it going, Andrew?
Hello.
So what are your thoughts? What's going on?
Well, that clip you showed the Flash, I watched the episode, and to be honest, even though the lightsaber stuff was kind of weird, I was only excited just to see Reverse Flash back because he's an awesome villain.
Yeah, well, was it the it was the guy playing Eobard Thawne?
Tom Cavanaugh?
Yeah, no, not Kavanaugh. Was it Kavanaugh? Did they bring back Kavanaugh as the Reverse Flash?
He was in the costume.
What I mean, what happened to the other guy?
I guess he went to do another show.
I don't know, man. I mean, because Tom Cavanaugh was the Reverse Flash, in the first season, and then you find out that the real Kavanaugh was actually dead, and that Eobard Thawne was just, like pretending to be him. And then it was that taller, blonder guy who went over to Legends of Tomorrow, I think. And I don't know. I haven't watched those shows in literally like 4 years.
Well, I only tune in from time to time if it's got something good. And seeing Thawne back got me interested again. And besides, after the end of that fight, he shows that Barry is finally faster than Thawne, and he said, "I got faster. Did you?" And he said, "But I will, Flash. You haven't seen the last of me."
Oh God.
Yeah,
it's so time for the Flash to die.
Okay, but I feel like when you have Reverse Flash, it gets interesting to me. That's in my opinion.
Well, if it was Kavanaugh, if it's Tom Cavanaugh in the role, because Tom Cavanaugh's a good actor, and yeah. I know he's leaving the Flash this season, just like Cisco did.
Right, but he did since you haven't caught up, he made an appearance in the season finale.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't know. Like, I just like I've stopped caring about that. Cause it's like the Arrowverse has gotten, with Arrow gone and a lot of the other shows being canceled are now gone. Like, have we gotten the series finale of Supergirl yet? Has that happened?
No.
Or is it next season that the show dies?
No, the one that's going right now is the last.
Okay. Lords of the Long Box here is like midnight on a Monday. What the fuck, man? Hey, man, I'm usually, it's called Hollywood After Dark for a reason. Not Hollywood at 6 p.m. because I'm an old man and has to go to bed early like Lords of the Long Box. So anyway, no, Tim's a great guy. So, all right, I don't know what the hell the chat is saying right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we'll have to wait and see like what all happens with that stuff. I don't know. I'm hoping that they just end all that stuff and they move it all over to like a cross production between HBO Max and the CW and like Stargirl, but they have it under one roof, one not Berlanti, like just get rid of Berlanti or scale the seasons back to 13 episodes to have tighter, more complete storylines and less filler. And I follow a bunch of showrunners on Twitter And it's really funny how these showrunners complain about 13 episode seasons. They complain about them. They're like, it's just not enough time. So like, are you kidding me? Like, do you guys ever actually sit down and watch like what the rest of us watch? Do we really need 22 episodes a year of like fucking The Blacklist? You know, like, did we really, I mean, that was the thing. You look at like, let's say Once Upon a Time. I give Once Upon a Time a lot of credit.
Hello?
Oh, did I cut out?
I heard a fridge for a second.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, like the show Once Upon a Time on ABC. You know, the first season had so much goddamn filler. The second season was a little bit like better because like they got through all of the character introductions and everyone getting their own episode and they're able to like kind of tell a story. But then season 3, they figured out the formula. They figured it out and it worked. The first half of the season was one storyline. So the first like 11 episodes was one storyline dealing with Peter Pan. Then the back half of the season was a completely different storyline that carried over from the first part, but it now was something totally new. And they basically treated it like it was 2 seasons of a cable show with like with the 11, 12 episodes each. And they were able to tell a tighter, more compressed story that allowed, I think, a lot more. And I know that when you have a new season or have a new show, there's always going to end up being those kind of, there's always going to end up being, what's the word I want to use here? Filler. Cause you have to, cause you're always introducing characters and giving them personalities and things like that. But people nowadays, what they want is they want tighter, well-written, well-acted, well-produced series that, might take time to get to the next season, but it feels like they don't overstay their welcome more often than not. And also a lot of these shows that run for 20 episodes plus a season, you know what? It's like they how many of them get canceled simply because there's just like the budgets are too high, and it's like the studios, the networks, they don't want to spend the money on it. So they just get rid of it. And it's such a weird thing with television shows. Like I lose interest in a lot of television shows just because you never know if they're going to get canceled. So I almost want to wait for them all to finish and then just watch them. Right. Which I know is counterproductive to their success, but it's just weird.
Okay. And what else? A few days ago, I read somewhere like, for the new Flash movie, I read that apparently like I don't know if it's true or not that the other Barry we see in set photos is like an evil one from the Keaton universe that wants to like take out all the heroes and Batman to the multiverse.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh my God.
You sound brain dead.
I don't care. I don't care about literally any of that kind of stuff. Like, I'm sorry. It's like all I want out of this Flash movie is this for them to remove the Flash and just give me multiple Batman. You
want this to be the Batman movie?
Yes. Yeah, man. Like Ezra Miller, Ezra Miller was the weakest part of Justice League in my mind. I know everyone's all like, he was so great as the Flash. The CG was really good when he turned back time. All right. But that was really about it. Other than that, it's like, he's like, I'm one of the good ones, Dad. Like, what? Like, what is this dialogue? What are you saying to yourself right now? Okay. Yeah. You want your dad to know your dad already knows you're one of the good ones. I don't know why you're trying to hype yourself up here. It's not like, what are you doing? Just feed a hot dog to a dog and be done with it. It's like, I just felt like he was the weakest part of Justice League. Not that it was bad, not that he was bad. It was just like, okay, I don't care I just don't care.
So you just want Affleck and Keaton to meet each other and go, I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman.
Yeah. I'm Batman. Yeah. No, I'm Batman. Yeah. And then here comes Bale. I'm Batman. And they're like, we can't understand you.
Going, no, I'm Batman.
Yeah. Clooney's all like, yeah, I'm Bat Nipples. I mean, I'm Batman.
And you can have Adam West go do the Pat 2C.
He's dead. Don't bring him back. Let the man rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, I would be down for that because, but this movie is called The Flash.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the flash in the pan. That's all it is. Just going to be something that people are going to sit through. I don't know. I'll watch it. Andy Muschietti's a good director who I do like. So I don't have a problem with.
Hold on a second. Found this funny picture of showing the two just staring at each other. Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yeah, no, I did see.
Yeah.
Oh,
it just could just be just them looking like this, going, "You're me.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Why you small?
Yeah, you have a lot of. Why is your belt so yellow? I mean, people are going to see you. People are going to literally see you in the dark because it's reflective.
Why did you put a bomb on someone's chest and smile?
Yeah. Why did you shoot KG Beast?
Why did you let the Joker fall off a gargoyle?
I know it's all. I could. That would be funny to see. Like it would be like that scene from Knocked Up, like the one with Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen. The you know how I know you're gay moment, like.
Oh yeah.
Keaton and Affleck going like, you know how I know you're Batman, like, or you know how I know you suck as Batman, like Danny DeVito with his flippers.
My Joker has damage tattoo on his forehead. Your guy killed your parents.
Yeah. Oh jeez. All right, man. Hey, I'm gonna let you go. I got some more people to get to here, but I appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
I'll see you later, Andrew. Thank you. All right, real quick here. H Bart's with just $2 super chat, simply saying Jackass 4. Yeah, I saw the trailer for Jackass Forever today. I laughed my ass off at it. I know people out there are going to be upset. Where's Bam? Where's Bam Margera? Why isn't Bam there? I don't give a fuck about Bam. All right, but his dad Phil. I love his dad Phil. I always loved it when they fucked with Phil, and that was always a great part of the movies and a great part of the show, and I love that. And that's what I'm going to miss out of Jackass 4. I don't think he's dead yet. And if they I know they probably wouldn't bring him back without Bam being there, but no, like which skate game was it where you could actually skate as Phil in it in the underwear? That was. I don't care about Bam Margera. I hope he gets the help he needs and all that. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, his dad was really where it was at. But Jackass Forever looks really funny. I can't wait to go see it in theaters. I actually saw Jackass 3 when it came out in 3D because I saw it for free because I worked for the theater company at the time. And yeah, I don't know why we saw it in 3D, but we did. And it was fun and I liked it. And I need to go back and rewatch those movies, especially number 2, because there's a whole scene where they play the Peaches Fuck the Pain Away, which is just a weird track to play in the last half of a Jackass movie. I think it was the one with Johnny Knoxville as the grandpa. And they playing the Peaches Fuck the Pain Away. It was so super weird. Anyway, let's see here. Lord Slug says no one cared about Bam, but still sad about Dunn. Yeah, that was true. Not Don Vito. Don Vito is in jail for pedophilia, I believe, or he got busted for pedophilia. So no Don Vito. But I do miss Jackass. Shrek here does say those. Going back to the Batman comment. Both of those Batman are killers. They'd probably get along. Probably. Anyway, let's bring in Ryan Hartwell. Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, Matt.
So what's on your mind, buddy?
I guess I just have one question.
Yes.
Which up-and-coming actor or washed-up actor do you think should either get the most attention or deserve a comeback this time around?
I think, washed. I always hate the term kind of washed up because some people it doesn't, it's, the way Hollywood operates is that it's it's very not fair. Look at Taylor Kitsch, for example, in 2012, cause he started off doing, Friday Night Lights, the TV show, and he developed a following there. And then they were like, let's put this guy in movies. So they put him in John Carter, which is a good movie. I don't care what anyone says, but Disney didn't know how to market it, and the damn thing flopped. Then that was in March of 2012. May of 2012, he was in Battleship. Surprisingly, another really fun movie that a lot of people slept on, I think, because it looked dumb. And it was dumb, but that was the point. And that bombed. And then he was in Savages, that Oliver Stone movie, in July of 2012 with Aaron Taylor Johnson. And that movie just got panned. And then after that, you didn't see much out of him again until he popped up in Peter Berg's Lone Survivor, and he got some attention for that. And I think he was in True Detective season 2, and he's been a few things here and there. But I think he's a fine actor, and he got kind of screwed. Look at Sam Worthington, Jake Sully from Avatar. It's like this guy kind of came out of nowhere, was in Avatar 2009, then he was in Clash of the Titans 2010, and he was in a couple other movies here and there. And then after a while, you just stopped seeing Sam Worthington anywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's like he kind of ran out of steam. They put him out there. Movies didn't really take outside of Avatar. And then the last thing I think I saw, I know he's done more stuff, but like he was on IDTV, did a miniseries about the Unabomber, and he played the lead FBI investigator going after the Unabomber. And I'm like, so you go from Avatar, the literal biggest movie in the fucking world before Endgame, but then also before COVID put it back in number 1, and to doing, the lead investigator on the Unabomber case for a miniseries for IDTV. Like that is in just just like 8 years. Like that's how far down his career trajectory went. I mean, thank God James Cameron's like sequels.
Yep.
But I mean, I think if anyone I'd like to see kind of make a comeback, I would love to see more from like Val Kilmer if he could talk. Like I really always I always love Val Kilmer. I think he's got like, he's done some crazy stuff. But I'll tell you what I really think though. And what I think is, I think the best person to watch right now for all of that is Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Because Nicolas Cage is just doing literally whatever he wants. Like literally, it doesn't even matter. He's just doing whatever he wants and he doesn't care anymore. But the thing is, what he's doing is so weird and like, but people are paying attention to it. And there's this, every time he comes out with a new movie, it's something different. Like, earlier this year, there was Willy's Wonderland, where he, it was Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff, but he played the janitor instead of the security guard, but didn't have any lines of dialogue in the movie. And like, I was at Target the other day and I'm looking at it on Blu-ray and it was $30 on Blu-ray.
Seriously
at Target. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But then again, it's on Hulu right now to stream. And I still haven't seen it yet, but I need to. And then Pig just came out. And Pig is this, it's the marketing made it look like it was John Wick, but about a pig. And except it's not about that. It's the reviews I read all said that it was more like very melancholy, very melancholy and kind of like about isolation and being, it's a drama, but he's giving a solid performance in it and people are coming out saying great things about it. So it's like Nicolas Cage can still really provide a lot of substance with these roles. I'll tell you, I think Bruce Willis has just given up too. Like I just think Bruce Willis, like I'm looking at Hollywood Reporter right now, six seconds ago, posted a tweet, Midnight in the Switchgrass film review. It's Megan Fox and Bruce Willis who are playing FBI agents investigating the disappearance of a young woman in Florida. Bruce Willis and Megan fucking Fox are like in a movie together. And it's like, you're telling me like Bruce Willis is like, you show up to Bruce Willis's house with like $9,000 in a duffel bag or something, and he'll literally do whatever. And maybe, but it's like, but it's not, it's the same kind of shit with Bruce Willis. It's like the same kind of role. He doesn't really experiment with different things. I think one of the funniest things, like back in the day when Bruce Willis was playing at more of the comedy stuff, Like, I mean, look at The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element, like, yeah, he was kind of the straight man, but he reacted to the world in a way that was very endearing. People liked it. He's just never fully like gotten over the I'm John McClane shit. And that kind of sucks because, back in the 80s, he, what was it? Like, was it Date Night? Or Blind Date, Moonlighting. And Look Who's Talking, where he voiced the baby. That was really good. Those were great because of him, as well as John Travolta and Kirstie Alley and everything. So I mean, there's like a lot that like he can do, but I just feel he limits his scope and his approach. Whereas, like Nicolas Cage is doing whatever he wants. So I just think people should follow the Nicolas Cage method. Do these weird avant-garde films that are just going to go to like home video. but your name is going to get people to go and check them out. And again, if you do enough of them and they're fun, you're going to develop a niche audience of people that are going to flock to those. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell their friends, and they're going to tell everyone they know.
Well, Nicolas Cage does have a fan base, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, like everyone, a lot of people out there hate. They hate, like what was it, the Wicker Man, but we all love the bees.
Yeah,
the bees. I mean, that's by the way, I love that. That movie was terrible. That movie was terrible. I remember seeing it when it came out in theaters. My friend and I, we saw the preview for it at Comic-Con when Neil LaBute had premiered like the first few minutes of the movie, and all right, like the trailer looked okay. I went to go see it and it was just bad. But I will say this though, there's artwork people have made about $3 Theater, right? And this is, I need to get this redone. I don't remember who the original artist was, but they did give this to me. They made this as a $3 Theater art piece. I mean, the fact that they're mimicking, MST3K, and it's three deer, 3 elk, $3,
right?
Watching Nicolas Cage with bees on him. It's wonderful. And I truly appreciate this, even though it was a sketch, but I need to hire an artist to actually really do something with this one. Because it is really endearing to me. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, and as a result, I mean, I still love Nicolas Cage and all that jazz. So yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that he does a bit more.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, and to answer your question, yeah, I do like Dune, and I would love to attend the Bellevue showing.
All right, you got to just accept my friend request on Discord, and I can send you the PDF, or just email me, and I can send it to you. It's tomorrow night, 7:00. Bellevue Cinemark Theater. You'll see it on there. You shouldn't have a problem with it. It's under my name, but you shouldn't have a problem with it.
That's Lincoln Square, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I did call them today before I decided to not go, just to inquire, because I was thinking to myself, look, the movie's done. The movie comes out here in a couple months. Obviously, they're trying to build hype. I get all that. Comic-Con at Home is this weekend. I think that there's going to be a new trailer releasing for Comic-Con at Home, which is why they want to do this. But at the same time, I'm like, what if they drop the whole movie early? What if you get to go and see the whole movie early? Is it worth the 75-mile drive for me to get up there? So I'm like, I called the theater, and I talked to a manager, and he was like, they only booked the IMAX auditorium from 7 until 8:30. So it's like, okay, that's not enough time to show Dune.
Okay.
That's so it's apparently going to be like a 20 to 30 minute presentation is what they're saying. So it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, you're close enough to where you'll get value out of it. I'm just, I have to turn it down, but I want you to call in tomorrow night if you get the chance to go, and then tell us all about it.
Sure. And there's something that I just learned recently. Yeah, Frank Herbert, the author of Dune, was born in Tacoma.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and in fact, I have the copy of the book in my possession, and it says he earned his education at the University of Washington in Seattle.
Nice.
And worked in television, including a radio commentary. Let's see, jungle survivor instructor, teacher, and so on and so forth.
I'm sorry. Jungle survivor instructor? But he's known for writing a movie about a planet of sand?
Yeah.
All right, then. I guess, that's like, all right, man. I'm definitely, I'm very excited to see what they do with this. The director I really like, so I'm hoping that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, man, all right, I got one more person to get to tonight, and but yeah, send me approve my friend request on Discord, and I can send you that file.
I'll do that right away.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, you too. Have a good one, man. Thank you. All right, Mad Max says here should have been Gambit instead of what? I don't know what he's saying here. Oh, he should have been Gambit instead of Ghost Rider. Is that what he's saying? Also, Max, what are you doing up? And you had the link to come on, and you're just not coming on. All right, guys, we're gonna dive into the last person of the night here. I do appreciate him waiting, because I am exhausted because I've been up at the doctor all day. Anyway, so let's bring in Gian. How's it going, Gian?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
You know what? Living with a hernia, if I'm gonna quote Weird Al.
Oh, you got a hernia?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's like my old landlord had a hernia, and he let it go for like I'd say about 10 years living with it because he hated the hospital so much, you know?
Yeah, I have full coverage through the state of Washington, so I'm just like, go it. I'm like, just take it out of me.
Yeah, you got,
you know?
yeah.
I'm all like, it's already covered, baby. I mean, at least, well, that's the thing. At least at this point in time, I am like 98% positive, but like, I'm like also worried, like, what if they just they don't approve me because they're like, well, your insurance is running out, or we're changing the program or whatever. I'm like, no.
Yeah, you gotta get it done one way or the other.
Yeah. It feels like I'm pregnant. Like, that's the craziest thing about it, is it feels like I'm pregnant. Like, the more up and down I get, I'm like, oh, and they're like, okay, we need you to go in for an ultrasound. And I'm going to make the joke when I'm there. I'm like, is it a boy or a girl? Like, you got to tell me,
my landlord actually looked like the guy in Family Guy, the father. I can't think of his name. He looked exactly like Peter Griffin with the gut and all. So
nice.
I mean, he was short and huge, and I love the guy, but he had hernias, and eventually he went through, before he died, death by doctor. Oh yeah, let's bring this up. So, but they do surgeries try to help you out at the end of life, but they're just collecting money before you pass. So, but
yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why, like, when I went there today, they're like, do you smoke? And I'm like, I haven't smoked in 15 years. And they're like, oh, like, okay. I'm like, do you drink? Like, I actually haven't had a drink in over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wow. Like, I'm like, it's not that I don't want to. I just haven't had a reason. That's really what it boils down to. It's like, I'm all like, I would totally get fucking hammered. I have no problem with that.
I'm one of those happy drunks. If I start getting lit, all you see emanate from me is just pure joy. The mind shuts off, and pure joy just goes everywhere, and that's why I don't drink very often, because
I'll tell you what I want to do.
Being an addict.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'll tell you what I want to do is so right now is like ripe blueberry picking time where I live. So my stepmom wants to go get blueberries. I'm going to go get like 2 pounds of blueberries, and then I'm going to go get weed. And I'm just going to sit home one night. I'm not going to stream, take a night off. I'm just going to like sit in bed, and I'm just going to like smoke weed, and I'm going to eat 2 pounds of blueberries. Cause like the texture of blueberries when you're high is fucking cool. So I'm just going to get fucking wasted. I'm going to watch a movie. Maybe I'll watch something I haven't seen. Maybe I'll watch a horror movie, something that's going to be really crazy. That I have seen or haven't seen, whatever. I don't care about, because if I'm high, I'm gonna forget it. It's like when I was 15. This is a true story. When I was 15, my friend and I on a Saturday night decided we wanted to go see Mortal Kombat Annihilation, right?
Okay.
And so we were both 15 years old. The movie had just come out. It was a cold fall night, and we got a ride to the theater from my mom, and she dropped us off and went back home. We're like, all right. So we go to the movie, and we find out that it's like sold out or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, crap. So we start walking back home, and I lived about maybe 1.5 miles from the theater. So it wasn't that bad of a walk, but we get to about the halfway junction, and which is like a corner market, right? The local neighborhood market. And I ran into a friend of mine there named Andrea, and Andrea was there with her boyfriend, and she was like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, nothing. We were just going to go see Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but the movie was sold out, and we didn't really feel like waiting. She's like, oh, we're going to go see it too, but we got chronic, we got chronic. You want to go smoke? And we're all like, fuck yeah. Cause we weren't going to be no punk ass bitches, right? We're like, you got chronic? Fuck yeah. We got chronic. So we go behind this convenience store, and we smoke a joint. And as we're smoking it, she's like, oh, I should probably tell you guys it's laced.
How can you lace chronic?
And I'm all like, it's like I always was under the impression it was like LSD or something. It was some hallucinogen.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm like, fuck, but I'm already like, at this point I'm getting kind of fucked up. So I'm like, all right. So she's like, well, we're going to go see Mortal Kombat. Why don't you guys come with us? I'm like, okay. So we start walking back to the theater.
Right.
And as we're walking back to the theater, we start smoking cigarettes. Now, the thing is, when you get high and you smoke a cigarette, it actually enhances the high a little bit. So I look down at my friend and my legs as we're walking, and like the shit kicked in because like all of a sudden, like, you ever see that Charlie Sheen movie, The Arrival, where like their legs turned around and they looked like fucking kangaroos?
Right, they're walking backwards.
Yeah,
forward.
right. So like I'm looking down at my legs and my legs just fucking flipped. It just like did a full on like 180, and I'm like walking like a weird insect. I'm like, oh shit. So like I'm already starting to see stuff.
So you're watching your shadows become legs.
My legs became legs. And so then we get to the theater, we go and we see the movie, and it's like, how like we were paranoid. We were 15. We didn't tell my mom we were going back to the movies. We thought she might get worried because we didn't come home, and no, my mom didn't give a shit. But like, no, she cared, but she had my younger siblings to look after, so she clearly had her hands full.
Right.
And so I'm paranoid in the movie. I go out and I try to call my mom to like let her know I'm okay, but she didn't answer the phone. So I'm thinking maybe she's out fucking looking for us. I don't know. Holy shit. Okay, whatever. So we go back to the movie and like, we watch the movie, and it's, by the way, when you're stoned, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is an amazing movie. Like I remember going like, whoa, fuck this, fuck like the Jacks, fuck, they killed Johnny K. Oh my God. Like you're really into this movie when you're stoned. But then later on when I watched it sober, I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. and then so the movie's over. My friend can't handle his weed. He goes like he vomits like 3 times during the movie. Cause he's still a pussy ass bitch all these years later. But anyway, we go walking back to my house. We're both paranoid. So as we're walking, it's fall, it's nighttime, there's street lights. We're walking through this dimly lit neighborhood going back to my house. And my friend is just like, he's freaking out. He's paranoid as all hell. And he keeps ducking ditches and behind cars. And he's like, dude, get the fuck down here. Get the fuck down here. What are you doing? And I'm like, what the fuck, Brian? What the hell's going on? What do you see? He's like, dude, there's cops everywhere. I'm like, there's no cops out here, Brian. There's no one here. What are you doing? Right. And he's like, there's fucking cops everywhere. I'm like, you're paranoid, man. You got to calm the hell down. Let's get back to my house. He's like, well, your mom is going to freak out. I'm like, yeah, she's probably going to freak out. But it's like, you know what? We've survived worse. We'll be fine. Let's go. And so, but then again, see, that's when his whole hallucinogenic shit kicked in. My shit came a couple minutes later. So as we're walking, and I look over and like I start seeing like the chain link fence and like some trees, and there's a street light behind it, right? So as you're walking, it's all kind of moving in the wind, and it's all like, it looks like a bunch of shadows, like a bunch of shapes. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, I think that I'm seeing the henchman, like Shao Kong's, whatever his name is, like his henchman in the movie. So like, and I thought like they're coming at me. So I immediately start going into like my karate poses, like an idiot. And I'm all like, cop gets up, cop gets up. My friend's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, there's fucking henchmen everywhere. So like he's seeing cops. I'm seeing henchmen from the movie. We're just trying to get the fuck home. 20 minutes later, we finally get home. We walk in the front door. We're just waiting for my mom to be like, tear our head off. Like, what are you guys doing? Cause like we got busted. A year later, minor in possession, we got busted.
Right.
So like, we were like, eventually it caught up with us, but we were fine here. My mom was like, we're like, hey mom. And she's like, oh, where'd you guys go? Like, oh, we ran into to Andrea, because my mom knew her too, like her family. And like we ran into Andrea V, and we went and saw Mortal Kombat. She's like, oh, was the movie any good? And we're like, yeah. Sorry we didn't call. She's like, oh, that's okay. I've been here with the kids all night. We've been perfectly fine. I'm like, all right, well, we're going to go to my room. And she's like, okay, have fun. So we went in my room, and I locked the door. Right. And like we sat down and like lit up a cigarette and just went like, dude, let's never smoke weed ever again. And my friend's like, yeah, I agree. Let's never smoke weed ever again. And then of course that didn't stick. But I'll tell you this though. The next time I smoked pot, I'm not kidding you, was literally 3 years later was the next time I smoked weed.
Yeah, I had a similar.
No, it was 4 years later. It was 4 years later. I was that paranoid from smoking pot that night. I didn't smoke it again for 4 years.
Oh, I had a similar experience with walking. Well, not walking. We were doing a presidential visit in Monterrey, Mexico, setting up the equipment. And we went out to the local town to have dinner. And we're at this big table, a bunch of buddies. And the owner brings out this square jar of tequila. And I went, yeah, give me a drink. Let's have some margaritas, right? And after my fourth or fifth margarita from this brown jug, my buddies and I were walking home. Well, I thought I was walking, but actually both of my feet were dragging on the ground and they were holding me up shoulder across shoulder.
Oh, geez.
And I was talking normal, like you thinking you were walking.
I haven't been that messed up in a while.
And my buddies were laughing at me because I was that messed up. You know, how you doing? Because they were laughing the fact that I wasn't walking, and they would make comments about you. How you walking, John? Oh, I'm walking just fine. And they had a picture of the tracks of my feet in the dirt while they were going home. That's how messed up these guys were. But yeah, it turned out to be 100 proof mezcal or something like that. Some local. No, not 100 proof. It's 200 proof. It was pure freaking alcohol tequila, and I thought I was walking. I wasn't walking at all. But I guess as far as the show goes, Black Widow was okay. I mean, you can't go wrong with Scarlett Johansson ever. You know, she always at least you can enjoy the movie and eat popcorn, you know. So,
and I did actually. I got a popcorn. I sat down. I watched the movie, and I enjoyed myself. Like, I just loved going to the theater, and that to me was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
You know. So it's like I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. It was predictable, but it was like.
Oh yeah,
but it was the thing is though. It's like I was entertained, and I would watch it again. I even said it's like probably one of the most rewatchable Marvel films. Because Florence Pugh is awesome, David Harbour is awesome, and there's a lot of good stuff there to kind of go back to. Oh yeah,
so, I saw it twice. The second time I wanted to go out for pizza at the casino, and they have they sometimes have a pizzeria where the pizza is only like $13 for a cheese pizza. So I'll go get a pizza, then see the movie and get my soda. Nice. But I saw it twice. I enjoyed it. The second time around, I was watching the Red Guardian even more because I didn't understand the character in the beginning, who was Red Guardian and whatnot until the very end of the first movie. Then when I watched it, I was watching him more, and then I understood what he was going through, you know. But that's with me. It's like when I watch like Star Trek, I can follow one character pretty good. But when I rewatch the episode, I'll just follow a different character, and it's different to me. You know, it's like you're watching through that actor's point of view, and the show changes to that point of view for me. So, but that's just me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get you, man, on that one. It's always good to kind of like have our routines on that one too. You know, it's like because we got to get back to normal somehow. And that's totally gonna be going there. But all right, dude, I'll let you go, man, because I got to wrap this up. I got to start kind of winding down and get towards bed. But I appreciate you coming on, John, and thank you very much, man. We'll talk soon.
Oh yeah,
have a good one.
Have a good one. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, that brings us towards the end of the show here. Just again, want to say, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Here's the thing: is tomorrow is going to be episode number 30 of doing this at night. The amount of viewers has started to go up. The amount of support has definitely gone up. And I appreciate everyone who comes by. You know, there are times where I've been thinking about this, about cutting this show short to like hour 15 tops. You know, doing the news, covering maybe one main topic, and then opening up for calls. And then going over and bringing back Boulder Talk Radio, which has been requested of me multiple times. There are a number of topics that are not related to movies that I'd like to talk about. And I think that'd be a lot of fun as a way to kind of just, treat it like a 2-hour block like I normally do, but just kind of break them up a little bit differently to kind of cater to different audiences. Because I do miss Boulder Talk. I get requests for it. I mean, literally like every week from multiple people. So it's something I've been kind of kicking around and whatnot. I just got to make sure that that it, you know, that's worth the energy expense. But with this upcoming surgery and everything else going on, I don't know how it's going to impact my body, and I don't want to definitely like do anything that's going to kind of screw me over from keeping this up. So I always appreciate everyone. As always, again, please leave your thoughts below. The poll for if Black Widow is a failure clearly had a no, as the no's have it. So those are more people voted for that. So that's cool. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you have any topics you'd like me to cover, I know Command Unit wants me to look into the Warhammer Plus situation. I just need to research that a bit more, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow night. Have yourself a great evening. Thank you so much, and peace the hell out.